Hi, I'm Abby, and I'm going to do a channeled message. And we'll just see what happens. So, in a channeled message, I might get a little spacier and might take some breaks in there to allow information to flow through. So, just bear with me while I let the spirit world share wisdom through me. So, okay, so I'm gonna talk to the spirit world and we'll see what, so they're showing me that, I hold the world in the palm of my hands, and they're saying that you too hold the world in the palm of your hands, that every human being on this planet holds the world in the palm of their hands, and that it is time now to start seeing this, to start choosing to be aligned with this reality, that we actually hold the world in the palm of our hands. We can choose the world and the reality that we want to see and experience here. And that is what they're showing me right now. They're showing it to me as sort of like a little sunlight, little beam of sunlight in the palm of my hands. And right now, the star is very dull and dim. And they say that we are challenged to see our true potential, is what they say. That you are challenged to see your true potential as much as I am challenged to see my true potential. And that, let's see what they say about that. So, they're telling me I'm doing a good job so far. Okay. Let's see. So I'm seeing it hand, and it's literally like picking up around black, like pebble or pearl or something. And what is sort of like a very incoherent form, what is definitely not human form. Okay, so I'm letting the images play out in my mind. So the dryer's going. I'm going to turn that off. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I turned the dryer off because it was really distracting. The washer's going, but it's less distracting. Okay, so I'm seeing, this is literally what the image looks like, so I'm just going to tell you what the image is, and then I'll allow the wisdom to come after. This is sort of how I receive information, is sort of like a storybook, so I have to watch this story unravel, and then afterward I sort of have to pause and wait for the understanding to take place. So what is a round black sort of pebble or pearl, and is being sort of shown to me in a hand that is it's very close to the ground, which is soil, only soil. I don't see any plants. And it's a being, which it literally looks like scarecrow, with what is a orange head, round orange head, and it's sort of very skinny, and wearing clothing, what is like a black, long black sort of jacket. And I'm gonna have to avert my gaze down so I can sort of follow along with this picture. So it's showing me what is like Halloween, and what is like a jack-o'-lantern head on the body. And they're showing me that Earth is changing, is what they're saying. And that I'm seeing what is the meaning of the pumpkin is literally has to do with growing things. And what is the jack-o'-lantern is smiling, because he's happy, because there is a sort of a harvest season taking place right now. Maybe winter time, but they're saying that there is a harvest taking place right now, and we don't realize that it is happening. This literally is what they're saying. The jack-o'-lantern man is finding people to help him with his harvest, is what he's saying. And he's picked you. You're watching this video because you're looking for something. You are looking for something. That is why you're watching this video. And so he's picked you, is what they're saying. You were chosen to watch my video for a reason. So you need to acknowledge that you hold the world in the palm of your hand, and that you are part of the harvest. You are part of the need for change here on the planet. You are a person that we need to help the world. You possess some special ability that it will help every single person on this planet, and you will open up to it, is what they say. Literally, what is now a white pearl inside petals of a tulip, and sort of just opening and to the sunlight, and that is what you are. You are a pearl inside of the petals of a flower, and you are in such a sacred and peaceful and sort of waking up to a new world sort of sensation, and warm sunlight is coming down and healing you right now, is what they say. That I am healing you right now, because I'm visualizing you as a sacred pearl embracing sunlight for the first time, and that you will feel changed by this, and you will start to experience your potential now, is what they say. And I see the jack-o'-lantern man, and they say this is not a scary jack-o'-lantern, this is joy, this is love, this is childlike, this is like a child's joyful, happy, sort of frolicking feeling, just dancing and laughter, and what would be like what a harvest season was at one time on this planet, where everybody gets together and everybody just chooses to love the gifts of the earth, and then chooses to experience the joy of plenty and that the earth gives. And then also just the feeling of joy that from that experience is shared amongst everybody, and everybody truly coming together and loving each other in a totality, like a community of people just loving each other, because that is the way they feel. They actually feel love inside. They don't feel anything else. They just feel love, and that is all they know. That's all they want to share is love. They say the more that we visualize imagery like this, the more it starts to become what is absorbed into our bodies without even realizing it. The more that we visualize images of love, the more that we actually, it's like osmosis. You know, have you ever heard that? Like studying through osmosis, you just like put the textbook on your head and go to sleep, and then the information will just go into your brain. That's what this is. This literally is. Visualize something that makes you happy. Don't think about the cost, don't think about the economics, don't think about anything. Just something, some image that brings joy inside of your heart. Think about what it is. Maybe it's something like holding hands with somebody that you love, and there's no challenges, there's no frustration, there's no money to worry about, there's no job you have to go to tomorrow, there's nothing else involved in the image. It's just simply a peaceful feeling of holding hands with the one that you love. Like that is my image of love. That is mine. So then what is your image of love? Just take a minute and think about an image of love. See, every time you think about an image of love, you're actually sort of like the information is going out of your brain in waves, frequencies, just like radio, just like Wi-Fi, just like all that stuff. It actually goes out of you in waves that are love. The waves of invisible waves of love are actually coming out of your head and out of your heart, out of your emotions, out of all of you, and it is sort of like being excreted like sweat, but it is energy waves, and it is love, and then it kind of beams out, and then it touches the people around you, and then they start to absorb it, whether they realize it or not. That's what they're telling me, that is the most important thing we could do, is just start thinking about, just once a day, for a couple minutes, think about one thing that fills you, something so simple, something that doesn't connect with anything else related to the world, Nothing else with the news, nothing with anything. It just something simple and something pure and sacred, something that is not related to the challenges of life. Like, you know, don't think about going on a vacation and then think about, well, I'd have to take time off work and wouldn't be able to afford it anyway, or that is tainting the love feeling. So don't do that. just experience a moment. Like, I love thinking about like really cold winter day and then crackling fireplace and just curling up in a warm blanket. Like, I love the sound, and I love the sort of treacherous cold world outside and then the warm world inside. That is a peaceful, harmonizing thought that I love thinking about. That creates energy too. That creates invisible waves of energy that change things. So let's see what else. So I've been thinking a lot about starving children in Africa. You know, when I was, I don't know, maybe 14 or so, I was at a friend's house and we were eating dinner, and it was sort of the joke that, and I don't hold anything against this at all. I have nothing negative about this memory, but it just sort of is a reflection of a reflection of today. It just bothers me, and you know, we were eating, and then if you don't eat everything on your plate, well, there's starving children in Africa, so you need to eat everything on your plate. But it was sort of like hokey in the way that it was said, because you didn't have to eat everything on your plate, you know. And there really wasn't anything. I mean, how do you connect A with B? Like, how do you put, you know, where is this? You say these things. These just words come out, and nothing. That was the end of it. How do you stop there? If there's starving children in Africa and we are eating food, how do you stop there? I don't think people really embrace this reality. Like, go to Google Images and type in starving children. You'll see starving children. I mean, they look like skeletons. Who is going to help them? Who? I'm like, there's like some sensitive spots that I have about this, because Africa is one of those countries that it is so unique, and it has such a unique history, and we just sort of stay away because it's kind of weird and it's Africa, and we don't get them or whatever it might be. But I'm a human being. I'm a living person in the universe. I am just as alive as that child that is nothing to eat. I'm just as alive, and I know about love just as much as that child knows about love. What is truly so different about us? Nothing is different about us. We are both living organisms, and we both know what love is. Like, we both want to feel love. We both want to experience that. There's nothing different. It is maybe Africa, maybe strange, but legitimately it always comes down to that. And the spirit world tells me that this has to do with this harvest image too, because it is about plenty, right? It's really crazy. Literally what they're saying to me about right now is about plenty, and about sharing, and about giving to others, selflessly, just sharing love with each other in any way, shape, and form, and then sort of like letting that be a domino effect. Just letting the gift of love that we share with each other become a domino effect that travels across the entire globe and changes everything. And they say that the dominoes will get to Africa, and that this is going to take place for everybody on the planet. And it is literally sunlight coming onto the planet and embracing a planet that has been so cold and dark with sunlight and warmth, and everything is going to start to grow again. They show me what has passed was like imagine the earth being like a human being that is sick with cancer, and the cancer is spread so terribly that all the cells and the body and everything is sort of breaking down and getting to like this drastic point where it is about to die. But they say nothing, that death is not what will take place here. It is actually rebirth that is taking place here. that this was supposed to happen, and that okay, the message is so complex. It's literally like a shape that has 17 dimensions is what they're telling me. It's so complex, the message. It has to do with the soul. It has to do with soul development. This is so beyond my humanness right now to translate this message. Let me see what I can do to tell you what the message was. Okay, so light, it was entirely meant to be. And we don't understand that it was this meant to be. Our souls needed this development, and our souls needed this learning. And actually, now that all of us that are born right now going through this sort of extreme moment on planet Earth, this actually is so extreme that, like, it's sort of super extreme even in an infinite universe. I don't know how that's possible, because there's just so many planets, there's so many beings out there. I don't know how Earth could just be so special, but it actually is, like, super special. And this is a super event that is taking place, that is infecting the entire universe. And it was crucial that it would come to a point of either complete decay or rebirth, and it was paramount that it would go to rebirth. That's why there's so many alien beings here helping the planet. We don't see them, we don't know about them, and that's fine. We don't have to. You don't have to know about them, okay? It's okay. I don't get into a lot of, I don't want to talk to people about, the alien war that is going on behind the scenes. Because I want human beings to focus on human beings. I want human beings to choose to do it differently. I don't want human beings to just say, "Oh, well, I'll just let the aliens take care of it." No, we need to take care of this. We need to be a part of this too. We need to choose to live and choose to be a part of this thing. That is so important that we choose to change our behavior and go through this rebirth cycle. And it is just like any woman who's had a child will tell you. It is painful, it is terrible, it is awful. And the same goes for what is taking place on this planet right now. That is why it's so hard for each and every single one of us, because we are all enduring what is labor. The pain of labor, and the pain of labor that brings birth and newness. And they say that we are almost through to the end of this cycle, and what is the sunlight coming down and warming and bringing everything back to life again. And even the dominoes that will hit Africa and will hit every country and every person, every human being who needs love and affection will be given it, and it will literally come like sunlight warming all of our hearts. It's sort of like Frosty the Snowman. We all love Frosty, but Frosty, when he gets warm, he melts, but it's like our hearts are like Frosty, and they need to be warmed, and the cold needs to melt away, and that is actually going to happen. And let me see. I'm supposed to describe the feeling and say, because I've had this feeling happen to me recently, where I didn't know how cold I was, just sort of disconnected from what is the feeling that love is. And the feeling that love is literally like a warm, soft, glowing sun, and it is inside of your heart, and it warms every part of your body in a way that it heals all things, heals our thoughts, heals the voice, the words that come out of our mouths, heals our perception. And each and every one of us will start to feel what is strange, a warm, strange sensation, like we were much colder before than we ever realized, and we're becoming sort of warmer now. And the warmth is spreading, and it literally is a physical sensation that you will feel. And I have felt it. I thought I just was sensitive enough to feel that. But it sounds from what they're sharing and the importance that I actually describe it, it sounds, they're telling me that this will actually be a physical sensation that human beings will start feeling on this planet, because the sunlight is coming in now. it literally isn't metaphorical. It actually is, it is real. I don't know how that could be, but there is sunlight, there's love and warmth that is sort of penetrating a shadow that has been covering the planet for a very long time. What is thick, so thick and dark and heavy that it has prevented us from our connection with oneness and prevented us from comprehending a spirit world and hearing the spirit world and feeling what love feels like. And that is why so much damage has happened here, and that is why we ourselves are okay damaging each other, damaging the earth, damaging everything, because we can't process information correctly in being covered by a thick tar blanket. We can't. And nobody blames us for anything. Everybody out there that's invisible, the aliens in the spirit realm, and everybody that is part of this, it does not hold any grudges, does not hold any negative feelings towards our actions or behavior, and they say neither should you. You should not feel ashamed of any of your behaviors over all this long time, because you've been covered in a black tar blanket, is literally what it is. And what it feels like is like alien beings, spirit realm, all of this chaos that is going on that we have no freaking clue that is taking place, literally. What would be like a dimension? I don't like talking about dimensions, but what would be like you open a door of your reality and you step through it, and now you are in another dimension in the same place and time, but you are somehow in a different part of reality. I don't know how else to describe it. On the other side of the door that you can't open or see or get to, is another dimension, which there's lots of dimensions. I'm just hearing the song intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic, another dimension, you know, like that. So you just listen to it and then you'll know all about dimensions. But you just walk through the door, and on the other side has been what is a chaotic sort of war going on with darkness, and it literally would be like the Hobbit that works the nightmare, the darkness, and then the good, Gandalf the Grey, and the elf, and the, Gimli, and everybody, and fighting on the good side of good, the alien beings, the benevolent angels and spirits and all of that, trying to override the dark, which it is their time to go now. They've had their time here. They've had their time here. They've been a part of our evolution so that we can grow beyond this and experience an ultimate rebirth. Well, it had to happen. It has to. And now they have broken so much of the darkness away that now the light is beaming in, and the light on the other side of the doorway, it is light over on that side now, which is penetrating into our dimension, and we're feeling it. It is warming things, and it is making us behave more lovingly and more generously, and that is what the jack-o'-lantern is. That is why you would be inspired to join the heart and the harvest. Like, he is looking for people to help him realize what your potential is, to help you get to your potential. That is what he is there for. He is an energy. He is the energy of realization of who and what we are. He's opening our minds, opening our perceptions, opening ourselves to see clearly who and what we are. And so you're watching this video for a reason. You need to know these things. You need to know that you are part of this, that you can make a difference, that you have a special gift that you can give, and it will make a difference. And so that is what I have to share with you in this video. It's just waiting to see if anything. They want you to know that January is a very good month, and that it is the first month of a new year, and you need to celebrate all that you have been through in your life. You need to celebrate you. You need to do good things for you because you deserve it. Every human being on this planet deserves to be acknowledged for everything they've been through. Even people that we would say, they have it so easy, and it makes us even more frustrated that our lives are so complicated and don't make any sense. even they are challenged. We're all souls of varying ages. And the older your soul is, the more complex and challenging your soul wants it to be. So I'm sorry if it's really sucked for you, but guess what? That is a really good sign of what your soul can tolerate, what your soul can handle, what your soul is capable of going through and dealing with. And guess what? You're still here. You're making it through this thing. You're not giving up. You're going to see it to the end. And guess what? You're going to be there too, just like all of us, embracing light as it keeps flowing in and it keeps changing and altering things. And so that is what they say about January. It's a time to celebrate, a time to feel the harvest, a time to reap everything you've sown. Even if your life is still tough, you're still at it. You're still here. You still need to be so proud of yourself for everything you've been through. And you can get through this thing too. So, okay, well that's my video. Just wanted to share a channeled message. And because I really wanted to know more about what January has for us. And I started doing that in December. It's really sort of sharing the messages that were coming through in a channeled way. And so I want to keep doing that because it's good. It's good to have sort of like a peg. You keep getting up there. Each month you get a new peg, and it sort of helps get you through each and every month because the wisdom, we're all ready for change. We're all ready to see love and beauty. We're all ready for it, but we also have to choose to be actively involved in creating it. It's not just going to create itself. We actually have to be creating it. But they say that we are going to become more and more, each and every one of us, inspired to create it. So don't feel like it's hard, because it's not going to be hard. The inspiration that is going to hit each and every one of us is the momentum and the energy and the desire to actually participate and create and showcase a loving, beautiful earth for everybody to see. And that we're all going to honor and respect each other, because we're all going to take care of planet Earth and each other. This is what we're going to start doing, because the light is going to alter us. It is altering us already. So that is my message for you today. And I hope it has been a meaningful one. And there'll be plenty more messages to come. Thank you for watching.